In this video, I'll show you how you can scrape pretty much any open source website out there for as cheap as $1 for every 1,000 website scrapes using a tool called Zenrows. And specifically, I'm going to show you how to use Zenrows together with clay.com in order to scrape those websites, interpret all the data from the websites, and then craft your personalized outreach and make the most of those data points. So essentially, first of all, what the hell is Zenrows? I'm glad you asked. And in simple terms, Zenrows is a no-code web scraping tool which basically has anti-bot protection, which means that you're safe when you actually scrape the web. And on top of that, it has auto-parsing features, which basically means that when you auto-parse something, the data output is going to be well structured. So, for example, you would have a separate field which says web traffic, and you will see that a company is having 1 million visitors. So you wouldn't have just like one fat paragraph with all the data, and you can actually split the data very nicely after that. So, in a nutshell, that's what Zenrows is. Their plans start at $69 per month, and I said it's dirty cheap. I struggle to spend more than like $10, $20 a month on Zenrows. But realistically, you probably need the developer plan if you're considering it. And if you click on Scrape APIs, you would see that it handles 20 concurrent requests, which I think are like parallel, like requests in parallel. So that's the only thing that you need to keep in mind when you decide what specific pricing plan you need to go with. As soon as you know the pricing plan, I'll show you the list of websites that you can basically scrape, and you can see all of the platforms on the screen right now. So we can basically scrape Zoom info pages of companies, built with pages, Crunchbase, LinkedIn ad library, Apollo.io, Glassdoor, Capterra. Like, I'll let you read the rest for yourself, and probably a lot more as well. And for context, I'm taking a lot of inspiration for this video from Eric Nowaslawski. He did a good video on Zenrows, but I thought it may not be as beginner friendly as this video. Hence, I'm basically repurposing a lot of the content of that and a lot of the nuggets of wisdom from that video. But essentially, each company and each of these platforms has a specific URL structure that they follow. So, for example, on ZoomInfo, it's always going to be this structure. So, it will always be company name and then company ID. Right? Same here with BuiltWith. It's always going to be builtwith.com/company domain. Now, a lot of the time with these specific URLs, it's very hard to actually find the URL because after you find it, it's very straightforward. So after you find it, all it is, you'll click on Add Enrichment, you'll type in Zenrows, and you'll click on Run Zenrows Scrape. And at this moment in time, you just import the URL, which is the URL that you want to scrape, and that's it. You basically save and run. And I'm going to show you, like, once again, because I know this one was successful. I'm going to show you once again how this works. And the final output would be something like this, right? So where you'll have a body of text with a lot of data. So you'll also give you like some emails that were featured. So for example, support built with .com for whatever reason, and then it gives you a bunch of different links to other data sources, right? So it gives you. I mean, in this case, it's not particularly useful, but let's scroll down. And if we scroll down, we can just see there are a lot of data points. And this is probably going to be the main data point because this is the body text. So we'll create a separate column out of it, right? And what this will give you is all the technologies that they're currently using, because of course that's what you use BuiltWith for. Um, and if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, it also gives you social links, so you can then go and basically find their TikTok page or their or like their Facebook page or their LinkedIn page or anything of that sort. If you're doing this for like some techie businesses, maybe phone numbers are not that useful. And then you can look at keywords as well, right? So you can also use keywords. Now, a lot of the questions that I get asked recently is, what the hell do you do after you scrape the Zenrows data? And once again, thank you for asking. What I typically do is I use ChatGPT, and I'll just show you the exact process behind it. So I use the cheapest, like I probably would use 4.0 for this one. I'm just going to say the input is the built with data about company name. From the input, tell me to the three tools that they're likely use as their CRM. And then I basically give them the input, which is basically all the technologies that we just scraped using built with. And I'm just going to run it as a row and show you the output. In this case, I just had a little error, but once again, like, the way to fix those errors is you will just basically go on body text and you will select the body text instead, and you will just save and rerun, and it should be absolutely seamless from there onwards. So let's do that. And once again, this is what the output is. So it says, based on the built with data about SalesLoft, it is likely that they use the following CRM, Salesforce. Once again, it depends on what you're selling, but if sometimes, let's say, you want to figure out that right now they're using like Salesforce, then you can just basically just ask it just to output Salesforce only. In this case, just change the prompt slightly and say output just the name of the CRM, nothing else. And then once again, you're going to save and run this entire thing. So let's rerun it. And voila, it basically just gives you the CRM here. So what you can then do is then basically just add it as a column, call it CRM, create the column. And then once again, at that moment in time, I'm sure you're techie enough, but you can click on add column, message, and then say, so you use CRM, right? And then in this case, if we save and run, then you should see over here that it generates this entire email for you, which is say, so you use Salesforce. And once again, this is how you would then personalize the outreach on the back of that. So the trick with Zenrows, though, the hardest part is finding the actual URL. And if you're not sure how to find the actual URL, watch the other video that I did on this channel, which I'll link down below in the description below, for how to find the URLs, because it's super straightforward. You would use a tool called SerperDev, which is even cheaper than Zenrows. You basically top up like $50 and it'll last your lifetime, and you will be able to find all of these URLs that you can then scrape using Zenrows. So I hope you found this video useful. I will also make sure to share with you this Zenrows scraper URLs, just in case if you want them for your reference. And basically all you will then need to do is go inside of formula and say, in the formula here, you will click on add column and then formula, and then you will say replace, I think it's like sales loft with, and then you will input whatever domain you want to input, and then straight away it will basically restructure it. So in this case, you should change the URL here from sales loft into, so let me just show you again. So you will change the URL, what you'll say like replace SalesLoft with clay.com here, and then you'll just replace it everywhere. So generate formula, and voila, you basically just created a separate search for whatever company you want to use here instead of SalesLoft. Now, I hope this makes sense. If it doesn't, just comment something underneath and I'll make sure to clarify things. But essentially, this is a high-level summary of how you would use Zenrows. On top of that, if you want to connect your own API keys so you don't burn through Clay credits, you'll basically just click on Manage Accounts over here in the top right corner and then add an API key. It's super straightforward inside of Zenrows. I believe is in this settings account section, and then all you need to do is basically copy and paste your API key and you're good to go. So essentially this is how you would do it. This is what you can do. These are all the platforms that you can scrape. If you have any questions on those, just hit me up. I'd love to clarify things, but in a nutshell, this is, if I was in your position right now, I would just get Zenrows, I will get SerperDev, I would watch the other SerperDev video that I did so you know how to get those URLs, and then just go crazy on finding all of these data points, and then use AI to interpret those data points for you so that you can then reference the technology that these companies are using, or you can alternatively qualify the companies for your service using all of these lovely technologies. Now, on top of that, since you've watched this video for 8 minutes now, and you probably, are Clay addict, similar to myself, I've just launched Unlock Clay, which is basically a £100 course which walks you through everything that you need to know about Clay. And in fact, this video will probably be one of like 200 videos that I record for that. So if you want to join, all you need to do is go to unlockclay.com. And once again, I'm sure by the time that you read this seductive landing page, you will be basically convinced to join the course. So I'll see you on the inside there. No pressure to join. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, because I notice I get a lot of comments of people being like, oh, this video was useful, but no one actually likes the videos, which is the whole point of having a YouTube channel, which I don't care about growing on YouTube, but I just want you to like this video if you watch this far. So yeah, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video. And also direct message me, comment down below whatever other videos you want to see, and I'll make sure to record them, as long as they're Clay related, of course. Anyways, over and out. Cheers. Bye.